He was a player, coach, and manager for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame as a manager. Ladies and gentlemen, that man was none other than Tommy Lasorda.
If I could have seen God and wrote down on a piece of paper what kind of life I would like to have, he couldn't have given me a better one than I got.
Well, I love the Dodgers very much. In fact, if you cut my veins, Dodger blue blood will flow out. That's how much I love the Dodgers.
I love this place. Sometimes I sit here and I can't believe it. Blue heaven on earth. And that's what I think. I used to say, hey, if you want to get to heaven, you got to go through Dodger Stadium.
Born Thomas Charles Lasorda on September 22nd in the year 1927. He was the second born of 5 sons. He was a Roman Catholic. He studied Roman Catholicism. So he was a man of God. His wife Jo was a Baptist. He would have priests come during Dodger games to offer mass to Catholic players. Look at this view, you guys. This is very beautiful here in Rose Hill Cemetery in Whittier, California. This is probably my favorite cemetery to visit. I have a few family members here, so this place really does hit home. Everyone, this cemetery is probably one of the most largest cemeteries in the entire country. I really like this area of the cemetery. Very peaceful, beautiful. See the chapel in the distance. Here's more of a view of how massive this cemetery is. My grandma is actually buried down this way. I'm actually going to visit her before I head to Tommy Lasorda's gravesite. But all of this in the view will or already has become grave sites. It is massive. So this is the chapel that I was pointing at from the other side of the cemetery. But look, everyone, that's downtown LA with all of its smog. Yeah, that's what we breathe here in LA. It is really muggy out here today, guys. I hope it doesn't rain on me. I haven't found Tommy's grave yet. Tommy's son, Thomas Lasorda Jr., aka Spunky, is also buried next to him. I'm trying to look for Dodger blue flowers, but I have yet to see any in sight. Alright, everyone, I have located the grave of Dodgers legend their unforgettable manager, Tommy Lasorda. And as I mentioned before, his son, Thomas Lasorda Jr., Spunky, is buried here. And not even a year after Tommy's death, his wife, Jo Lasorda, is buried besides her husband and son. It was in the year 1945 when he was signed with the Philadelphia Phillies, and he began his professional career that season with the Concord Weavers of the D-League. He did miss the 1946 and 1947 seasons because he was active on duty in the military. When he returned, he was drafted to the Brooklyn Dodgers. And that same year, the Dodgers sent him to the minors, the Greensville Spinners, and then to the Montreal Royals in the year 1950. He pitched for the Royals in 1950 through 54. Then he made his major league debut on August 5th, 1954. That was for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He eventually was sent back to the minors, and that's where he pretty much ended his career as a pitcher. In the year 1973, Tommy became the third base coach for the Dodgers. He was very dedicated to one day take the place of then Dodgers manager Walter Alston. He even turned down other managing jobs from other organizations. This man was a very dedicated Dodger. He bled Dodger blue. On September 29th, 1976, Tommy became manager when Walter retired. When the late great Vince Scully asked him if he felt any pressure replacing Walter, Tommy said, and I quote, "No, Vin, I'm worried about the guy who's going to replace me. That's the guy who's going to have it tough." Yeah, that's pretty much a very strong statement from Tommy. Tommy won 2 World Series with the Dodgers in 1981 and 88, and then he eventually retired as manager in 1996. His uniform, number 2, was retired by the Dodgers as well. On June 12, 2012, he had a heart attack. He was 84. It was not considered serious, but he was hospitalized on and on from then. And eventually, January 7th, 2021, he was rushed back to the hospital, and that's where he died at the age of 93. The day Tommy died, Dodger Stadium had their flags flown half-staff in memory and honor of their boy, Tommy Lasorda. Like I said, you guys, Tommy bled Dodger blue. Very dedicated to that team. Tommy was so diehard that he once said that he wanted his wife to put Dodger games on his tombstone, so people visiting their loved ones at the cemetery, pretty much like myself, because I have a pretty good amount of family here at Rose Hills. He wanted them to come by and say, "Hey, let's check out Tommy's grave. Let's check out to see if the Dodgers were home or on the road." Now, that obviously didn't happen here, but it just shows to you how much of a die-hard Dodger he was, even in death. And now, he lays here to rest. His son, Spunky, and his wife, Joe. It's just so crazy how the exact same year, just months after his death, his wife passed. Must have been a broken heart. But hey, they're together now again. Joe actually died at their home in Fullerton, where they lived for so many decades. They were married for about 70 years. Alright everyone, there you guys have it. The grave of the great Dodgers manager, Tommy Lasorda, right here in Rose Hills Memorial Park in Whittier, California. Whew, it's getting cold out here. If you guys like these videos, give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. God bless everyone. I will see you guys in the next video.